When you look at the numbers for 21st Century Fox, fiscal fourth quarter revenue beating the highest analyst estimate, were investors and analysts lowballing? Did they just not? Were they just not confident in the business coming into this earnings report?
Yeah, I think that was a really healthy report there from 21st Century Fox. But, you know, as you mentioned, earnings is only a little bit of a side story here. The real focus is on the deal with Disney, on what could potentially happen with Sky. In terms of this quarter itself, they had a pretty, they definitely would have got a boost in the cable network segment from their affiliate fee gains. Those have been increasing really steadily for the past many quarters. And then they also had that World Cup telecast. So, you know, that would have definitely helped them on the ratings front as well as on the ad revenue front. And then with the film and entertainment segment, again, a little bit of a boost there from the performance of Deadpool 2, which really has exceeded expectations.
And so what can we then glean about what the so-called new Fox is going to look like and the health of that business from this earnings report?
Yeah, so now it's all about the focus shifting to RemainCo or new Fox. And just like we heard yesterday with Disney and you know, Disney kind of future-proofing its business, kind of shifting the entire focus to streaming and getting all of that content for streaming. For new Fox, it's really going to be all about news with the Fox News Network and sports. So they're still going to they're keeping Fox News, they're going to keep Fox Sports 1, Fox Sports 2, and then of course their broadcast network, which again has this heavy focus on sports with the NFL and news. And they've been doubling down on both on sports rights. So they just recently acquired rights to the Thursday night games as well as a package from the WWE. So they're really honing in on their core competencies, which is news and sports, which the Murdochs have always loved. And I think it's going to be a pretty powerful property going forward.
Geeta, talk to me about Sky here. I mean, when are we going to find out exactly what's going to happen with this Sky deal? And if Disney Fox doesn't walk away with 100% of this, how does that change the calculus for this deal?
So, you know, it obviously looks like Fox is keeping all of its options open. So they formalized the bid yesterday for Sky, but they did make sure that it was not a final bid. So what they have now is they kickstarted a 46-day period, and both Comcast and Fox do have the opportunity to present a raised bid up until September 22nd. So it's really going to be interesting. Disney has always spoken about how great an asset Sky is. It really does kind of push forward their direct-to-consumer platform. But then again, the question, I think investors have been a little bit worried because of the heavy valuation involved for what is traditionally viewed as a legacy business. The satellite operating business is not exactly a place you want to be. So I think investors are a little bit concerned there. So it's going to be really interesting to see how this plays out.
Geeta, what do you think Rupert Murdoch's strategy is here? He's selling these assets to Disney. You could say that maybe it's at the top of the market. We're 9-10 years into this bull market. He's always been an acquisitive guy, right? I mean, he bought the Wall Street Journal. What does he do now with a trimmed down, slimmer version of Fox?
Yes, I think I totally agree. I think he has sold at the top of the market. I think he's been really perspicacious here. You know, in order to really develop the film property, especially the studio, you know, I think content investments are going to get bigger and bigger and bigger. And I don't think Fox really was comfortable with that asset, with the studio assets. I think they made a really smart move there by selling to Disney. They're still retaining the sports and the news, which is really their core competency. So really kind of zeroing in on those properties that they're extremely familiar with, extremely comfortable with, and they know how to monetize well.
I want to ask about the international revenue as well. It looks like the company's Star India business is doing well. It talks about international affiliate revenue up 12%, although that looks like the full year actually now that I look at that. Oh, excuse me, it is 12% on the quarterly basis as well. It also saw international advertising revenue up 55%. So is that one of the bright spots as well for Fox that will continue post the deal?
So Star India is actually going to go to Disney, and that was one of the reasons Disney wanted it, because they really needed to get into this whole international diversification. I think Fox has been one of the first movers in terms of geographic, in terms of, you know, really kind of expanding their overseas footprint. Star has been a great investment for them. They've really known how to take that property forward. They probably have achieved $500 million in EBITDA for the very first time for the full year, fiscal 2018. And just considering all their investments in the mobile platform there, which they call Hotstar, they're getting about 140, 150 million viewers every month. So this is almost something to the scale of a Netflix. So that's kind of the scale and the success that they've been able to achieve in India, and it's definitely going to be a real crown jewel for Disney.